Welcome to PAC Talk, your source for all the information you need to make your farming operation successful in today's agricultural landscape. I'm your host, Chris Kreifels, Vice President of Technology at Progressive Ag Co-op. I'm joined today by Jason Brown, Vice President of Agronomy at Progressive Ag Co-op. Jason, it's good to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks, Chris.
Today we're combining PAC Talk and Employee Spotlight, and we're going to introduce Jason, who's relatively new here at Progressive Ag Co-op. We're glad to have Jason on the team. And Jason, if you would, just let us know a little bit about your history, who you are, and how you got to Progressive Ag.
Okay. I'm a native of Missouri, Northwest Missouri farm boy. Grew up on a large family farm. Also, the family had a independent agri-service business and was highly involved with all of that as well. I did have an opportunity in the early 2000s to manage a large agribusiness in the Texas Panhandle. Was down there for a few years and two different positions. Started at the COO position and wound up in the CEO position. Some changes in family matters brought me back to Northwest Missouri. Got a family and needed some grandmas to help with some daughters at that point. So that took me back to Missouri, working for a large cooperative based in Missouri. I started out as a general manager for about 4 years and then was promoted into a region manager position covering about 24 locations. Come across the opportunity to come to Progressive Ag for the vice president's position and saw the opportunities for growth with Progressive Ag and thought it was going to be a good fit for us, so here we are.
And again, we're super happy to have you on board here, Jason. And your experiences, we feel, is going to bring a lot to Progressive Ag Co-op, and with you comes your vision for your department, for the agronomy department at Progressive Ag. So why don't you let us know a little bit about what that vision is and what that looks like for our agronomy department.
Okay. Well, my number one goal for the agronomy department and all of Progressive Ag, to be honest with you, is to have the ultimate customer experience with every touch point that we have with the customer. And, we want that customer leaving wanting more, wanting to come back, enjoying the visits and the conversations that they had with all employees with Progressive Ag. And that leads into building that customer relationship. We want to build that customer relationship so strong that it's basically bulletproof. And we want them to know that we are there, we are their partners, and we're there to help them succeed, because without our customers, we're nothing. In order to do that, we've got to provide true value to our customers. And value is different for every customer. I mean, some person may say, well, this is how I get value, and the other person says, well, this is a little bit more important to me. And so that's what I'm working with our sales staff with, is identifying those aspects and targeting what the true needs of the growers are and be able to provide that value to them. In order to do that, our intentions is to be on the farm a lot more. We have to be out there, we have to see the fields, we have to look at the fields, we have to analyze the situation, see what the needs are, come up with a plan to be able to assist in the better profitability of that grower's fields and needs, and be that partner. And the next goal for the agronomy team is we're going to be more competitive in a broader spectrum of things. There's been times before that maybe we shied away from a certain side of a business. Maybe it was a cash and carry deal. Maybe it was more direct farm shipments. We're not afraid to do that, and we're prepared to have opportunities with that. We won't always be the winner, but we will always be competitive, and we will always provide the best value for the customer.
That's right. That goes back into Progressive Ag's vision of building that partnership with our patrons and everyone we do business with, and just to make sure and ensure the sustainability of our growers' operations and of Progressive Ag's operations.
Absolutely.
That's at the core of everything we do, and especially at the core of the new vision for our agronomy department. So we've kind of got our roadmap, our vision of what that looks like going forward. So as we, Progressive Ag Co-op, work toward going down that path, what does a grower need to be looking at right now to make sure that they're on the right path for this year?
Well, the hot topic today, obviously, is what has happened with the grain markets in the last 45 to 60 days. We've all seen very nice increases there. It's improved the financial abilities for the growers. It's improved their attitudes, and we've got to watch our input costs as well. We're seeing increases in some of the plant foods aspects. We're seeing shortage on availability, especially in some of the phosphates. So the best thing we can do right now is when we're having discussions and making these cropping plans with the producers is talk about everything. You're liking these prices, you're looking at the input cost, the numbers work right now. There is profit available right now. How long is it going to be that way? I mean, we've all seen both sides of it. And so if you're going to be making a grain contract, why don't we go ahead and lock in some of the inputs for that grain as well? Or vice versa, if you're going to be looking at going ahead and setting up your top dress for your wheat, maybe we should be looking at locking in some of these attractive prices right now to go with that and pair it up. It's kind of hedging for the farmers because that's about their best protection. Another aspect that we can do to bring value to the customers is going to be with our variable rate technology program and the grid sampling, making sure that we're placing that fertilizer in the right spot at the right time. And there's certain places that need more, there's certain places that need less, and we've got to go out there and get the samples pulled, get the maps back, come up with a cropping plan, and go from there. Because the days of old when we're just going to put so many pounds per acre on every acre, sometimes you're putting way too much there, and sometimes you're still starving an acre, and we want to get maximum production out of every square foot of that farm. So as far as further roadmap and what's in front of us right now, obviously, if you don't have your plans made for your wheat top dress, I would suggest getting everything lined up with that. As soon as this weather cooperates, it's going to be time to go. And we've got the products and supply ready to go. We've got the manpower to take care and service the acre and the growers. And we look forward to doing business with them and being their partner. So trying to plan ahead will bring success for all of us. And then we're coming to the spring cropping plans for the spring crops. And we want to be on the farm, understand what the farming needs are. We'll present multiple options to the growers to see what fits their operation the best, and we'll assist in the decision making and make sure that we're getting the timely applications and precise applications taken care of.
Yeah, and again, we've talked on PAC Talk before, just those days of Granddad always put 75 pounds of nitrogen on, and so that's what I'm going to do. Those days, they're past, because you're just not getting back out of that soil what you could be. And in today's ag economy, we really need to be making sure we're getting all the bang for the buck.
Absolutely.
And at Progressive Ag, that's our, again, with that partnership, that's our whole goal, is to make sure that our patrons are successful, because we don't have a business if our patrons don't have a business.
Exactly. And when it comes to the precision program is an excellent demonstrator of that, because when you get into a situation where hey, cash flow is getting a little tight, I can't spend as much money as what I originally planned on that acre, so I'm going to have to make some cuts. We can help and assist to still maximize the best yield potential by cutting, by making sure we're cutting in the right areas. I mean, if you just go in there and cut it in half and do everything halfway, you're not going to be successful. Or maybe we trim a little bit out of this, but we still stick with the full plan here. And we've got the knowledge and the tools to be able to assist the growers in those situations. Ultimately, for high yield potentials, we need to stick with our original plan. But we all understand and know that those other situations are going to arise.
Absolutely. The old adage of fail to plan, plan to fail.
Correct.
comes into play there. Well, Jason, thanks again for joining me on today's episode of PAC Talk. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter using the handle @ProAgCoop. We'd like to hear from you and what you thought of today's discussion. Leave us a comment or send us an email at pactalk@proagcoop.com. Hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos just like this one. Do you have a question you'd like the PAC Talk team to answer, or a specific topic you'd like us to cover in an upcoming episode of PAC Talk? Shoot us an email with your request, and we'll do our best to get you the answers you need. Again, that's pactalk@proagcoop.com. PAC Talk is a production of the Progressive Ag Co-op media team. It's the vision of Progressive Ag Co-op to build successful partnerships with our patrons, employees, and all we do business with to ensure both Progressive Ag Co-op and our patrons' businesses are sustainable in this ever-changing agricultural landscape. Thank you. We'll see you next time.